Well, hello there. It's been a while since I've done a Minecraft video, so I thought I would pop on to the Capycraft and take a look at my All the Mods 10 server home base. Yeah, it's been about a month since I've been on the server. Kind of got off the server after there was an issue with some items coming up missing, and a player imported a very large base from another server and caused this server performance to just absolutely tank. Anywho, yeah, this is my base. I started off over there in the bushes, and this was I believe, an evil craft structure, and I just sort of kind of took it and rebuilt it, and started off building really small but safe little location here. I've got some trophies from Eternal Starlight kind of displayed here because they're pretty big, and why not? Anyways, let's pop on in here real quick and I will show you around the base and pop in and take a look at some stuff. I'm also doing this recording to kind of remind myself of what I've done and how I did things, sort of, in case I need to reference back. Um, Missing some blocks there. I'll have to figure out where those went. Anyways, yeah, this is my upper level. This is where I started at, and just, you know, just real basic construction stuff. Since all the mods 10's been updated, I think it's currently at 4.10, while the server's on 4.5. So 4 or 5, I think they added a lot more creative stuff and aura tech. And in 4.10, I think they added botany pots and some more interesting items. Anyways, yeah, let's take a look here. You can see I got some foresty stuff, a bunch of bee stuff, some trophies, a lot more trophies. Yeah, I've been playing for a while. I think I started playing all the mods 10 on the Chosen Architect support server, and I played that through till the end of server. And then I was invited. I started playing single player, and then I was invited by DK to come over here and join the Capycraft server. And I believe that was in late May. And in June, there was an issue with quest lines, and the quest lines were reset, and I lost all my progression in quest lines. It happened twice, and so yeah, I ended up with a lot of extra stuff by going back through and having to redo all my quests. So yeah, I've got chests full of stuff that I gained as extra. So yay for me. Anywho, there's my integrated dynamics. This is all the stuff from the Twilight Forest. I have completed several of the quest lines. Twilight Forest, I think Starlight's completed. All the basic stuff you get going with all the mods 10. Um, oh, oh, this chest was full of netherite. Uh, Blocks of netherite I gathered over the. Huh. Interesting. Now we did have an issue on the server. Not sure who the player was or players were, but somebody had to have admin privileges to do this. Came in and cleaned me out. Took everything. Took all my premium armor, took all my premium gear, took all my. I just now discovered they took all my netherite. They took all the diamonds out of my storage unit. They took all the gems out of my storage unit. They took all of my apotheosis books and even my apotheosis enchantment book storage thingy library. And yeah, they just cleaned me out, and that was one of the main reasons. That and the server performance at the time, I just stopped playing on the server. It was very frustrating to have somebody do that to you, and they needed admin privileges to do it. So I don't think any of the people that DK plays with, or the people that are been playing the pack for a long time. I think it was a new player that was given admin privileges that did it, and I don't know why, but you know, people do what people do. Anyways, I've got a lot of wood there. This is all stripped logs for Create, and this is my Create tool bag. I haven't done much with Create. I don't think I've done anything with Create, to be honest with you. I love Create. It's an awesome mod. Every mod pack should have Create and a lot of its add-ons in it because it's an outstanding mod pack. Miscellaneous items. More miscellaneous items, and then this, I just extra stuff I just stuck over here. I believe this is Railcraft. Yeah, this is a couple of other things. I'm not really sure what those are for, but I've been putting them there. I did have villagers set up here, and they generated a lot of iron for me. I'll not ever need more iron than this. Thank God these weren't cleared out, because yeah, if it wasn't for these, I would not have had any iron. This is my chest where I put items in. Say this diamond horse armor. And we pop down here, and come over here, it's coming through here and it's in here now. It's going to get turned into leather and diamonds. And this is the salvager from Silent Gear. Goes into a... Now this is an early setup, so this is why I'm using hoppers. Normally you don't want to use hoppers on a server because they cause issues. But yeah, this is what I got going on here. And then this is just some miscellaneous items right here. This belongs to DK. Thank you, DK, for letting me borrow it. But there it is if you need it. I had a lot of really good premium armor, including a full set of enchanted and decked out Ars armor. And it was all in here, and it's gone. Along with pretty much all my good tools. You know, I keep certain tools on me because I have picks that would devastate this base in a matter of seconds. So I generally just stick with this one right here for being around the base. At least they didn't take all my gems. But yeah, my armor's missing. Yep. Cleaned me out. Not so bad. Not so bad. Oh man, they took a lot of my R stuff too. Gosh darn it. they took all the good stuff and they left me with this stuff. Oh my god. All my mana potions were in here. They're gone. Most of them. My overflow for iron gears are... This is, yeah, I think this is... yeah, iron spells. Yeah, so this is the overflow. I had to do Cataclysm twice, and that's a pretty hard mod to do. And that's what I had to borrow DK's sword here for the second go around, because I didn't want to die a billion times trying to get back through the Cataclysm mod for the quest line to be completed. I believe this is all Ender IO stuff. Yep. Just collecting Ender IO stuff. I did put some of my premium stuff in here after I remade it just to keep it safe. Sulker Skull, just to be safe, you know. And then up here, I believe it's mostly books and... Yep, immersive engineering stuff, and then my charm. They took all my. Yeah, that's another thing that disappeared. Where all of this stuff disappeared. Thankfully, because of doing the quest line 2 times, I had redundancies of all of this stuff. So I just put them up here. You know, pulled them out and put them up here. But yeah, oh, got extra gear and stuff in here. I could recycle all of this. In fact, why don't I just do that real quick here? I can only put so much in there, so I'll just put what I can in there and then put the rest back up here. Right here, yeah, rather. More part of the Iron Spells mod. I've really gotten into it, but I do know that some of this stuff is really good early game if you can get it. You can get fire resistance, and you can walk in lava, and yeah, so yeah, if you find some of these, definitely check them out and equip them on your Babbles stuff. Let's see if I can do that real quick here. Yep, so really good stuff here to have some of the stuff set up. Again, I'm not really optimized. I'm not a pro all the mods 10 player. I play it basically for leisure and, you know, to decompress and whatnot. This is miscellaneous food items. These are miscellaneous collectible items. Again, this is salvage. We'll bounce down here. This is my enchantment area. I spent a good day doing enchantments so that I could fill out the pylons here. And, you know, the potion filters, basically you drink a potion and then you apply it to a potion filter, and when it's active, you are basically, you have, let's see if I can do this here right. I keep hitting the wrong buttons. Okay, try this again. Yeah, these potions are all active currently. And, you know, I'm sure there are more potions I could add, but the main one was flight, creative flight, and night vision. And then, of course, you know, regeneration and whatever else I could sneak in to help me survive encounters with Cataclysm mods. This area here is just a crawl space, basically. I was going to route a bunch of my wires and stuff through here, and power and fluids and stuff, but it turned out I didn't really need to because, you know, wireless power transmission via POWA and Flux Networks. Those are 2 very, very good mods to consider. I had all my villager stuff set in here for villager trading, but I don't need it any longer. So I deactivated it because, you know, who wants to listen to villagers make their villager sounds all the time? We stop down here. This is my main working area. There's mechanisms set up right here. Of course, I'm very primitive in the mechanism stuff, but I've never been in game with mechanism. I don't know why. I just get to this point and set up basic mechanism power, and then I call it good. Here's my basic AE network connection portal screens, whatever the hell you want to call them. Terminals, thank you. And come through here, this is my really basic AE setup. I've never been in-game with AE. I very seldom do AE. I just, by the time I get done with a pack, I might have a really basic setup. This is the most advanced AE setup I've had in single player and in modded in the entire time I've been playing Minecraft. I'm kind of proud of it. I had to teach myself a lot of what's going on because I didn't want to watch tutorial videos. I wanted to figure out for myself. Big mistake. Ended up with a lot of headache, but in the end, I kind of sort of figured it out. I'm sure it's not optimized. Absolutely, in no way, shape, and form is it optimized, but it is what it is. But this is the power area where I generate most of my power. This is part of AE2 as well, advanced AE. This block is, might as well get rid of that because, you know. Anyways, this reactor's actually probably out of everything. Yeah, it's out of everything. This is a nitro reactor. I had two of them, but one of them came up missing. Again, missing items, very frustrating, but it is what it is, you know. I have this setup here. If you haven't used Zycraft, it is a very, very powerful mod to have. It's very simple, but it's very powerful because you can generate a lot of stuff with Zycraft that you would otherwise be pulling your hair out to, you know, modernize and to automate and stuff. Over here is industrial foregoings, plastic production. Basically, there's a tree up the latex extractor pulls the latex out of trees and then comes down in here, gets turned into latex and then into plastic through this unmetanium furnace. These things are absolutely amazing. I power them with ender gates from Power. And then over here, speaking of Power, I have all these thermal generators set up for nitro. The highest level you can get these, and they produce a mega crap ton of power. They are all underneath of them is a source block of this blue lava stuff, which is from Apotheosis. You get it from the other, and they do pretty good. I mean, look at that. I mean, that reactor's not going, and these things are pretty full up. And I don't know why I'm hearing them, but I'm definitely hearing some pillagers. So this is part of what I was working on for Dire Things, and Dire Things is another great mod that was added in All the Mods 10. It's an awesome mod pack, Dire Wolf's personal mod pack. Over here, again, Zycraft is basically growing moss. As you can see, I have, I think, six or eight of these things producing moss going into here, and if I want to, I can put other stuff in here. It goes into here, excuse me, it goes into this, and then down into here. So if this ever runs low, I have a reserve of other things I, you know, can use to turn into, you know, basically this stuff, whatever this stuff is for mechanism. And then this can be fed into here for redundancy power, you know, kind of at least I'm burning some of it. And then it goes into the reaction chamber here and is turned into ethanol. And right now it looks like all my tanks are full. I usually have a series of tanks here because you take these tanks and they're full, and then you take a couple of gas burners, probably four, and one of these will, full tank of these will run 4 gas burners quite a long time. You hook them up to an mechanism miner, and the darn thing will run forever at full power, all the enhancements, you know, speed and efficiency, and you can set it for silk touch, and it'll run until, you know, basically runs out of fuel, and it's very, very practical way of doing it. So then these are full of hydrogen for, I don't know, why not have them full of hydrogen? I know I need them for something, that's why they're there. This one here is hydrogen as well. More of the AE set up here, and then we'll just bounce back up here real quick, and back behind my AE2 system. Walk around this way here. I'm kind of looking as I'm doing this as well for the purposes of trying to remember how I did stuff here, because I'm currently playing on the Chosen Architect support server, the All the Mods 10 to the Sky support server, and I forget about how I did a bunch of this stuff. So, you know, having to reinvent the wheel over and over again, it's like the learning curve gets harder the more you play. You know, you learn the stuff and then you move on, and then you start a new, you know, server or new single player, and you got to relearn everything. You're like, how did I do that last time, or did I not do that? It all gets mixed together. It's like having, you know, multiple versions of the same thing and trying to remember everything's at and everything else. So it can be a lot of fun. It can also be overwhelmingly complicated. Come in here. We have a lot of storage. Again, I like functional storage because I think it's just an amazing mod. I realize that there are some people out there who say, oh, that hurts server performance. But if you look against that wall over there, you don't see any of the items displayed. they depopulate as you move away. The reason I do this is I like to see all the items sorted out, and I know I could dump them into the AE system, but then it's full up, and I like to keep my AE system clean. You know, only the stuff that I'm going to use I want in the system. The rest of it I just want off to the side and access to it if I need it. I know I could dump all this. I could build create storage units and dump all of this into there, and then stick an AE interface on it, and you know all the stuff would be in there and be organized. But haven't gotten around to that yet. I probably will do that eventually, but I just like the way this looks. I've got all my stuff in here. Eventually, I'll have all this set up with seeds and flowers and whatnot. And I've got all the fluids here. And then, oh my God, there's so many trees in this pack. All the mods 10. I mean, look at this. Just a lot of trees. And it would this is industrial forgoing stuff. These things here work really well. As you can see, I do have this stuff right here, ether gas. I had an ether gas miner set up over there, but something happened and the wither got free and destroyed it, and I just never got around to rebuilding it. But yeah, I set it up. These are shocker boxes full of stuff. I like that setup, blue in, orange out. I know it's backwards. Just, yeah, okay. Just forgive me. And we come in here. Each room I tried to, along this production area, this production floor, I tried to make it its own unique room. Anyway, so I had a full apothec enchantment set up here, and you can see it's gone. I did have spare libraries, so I did set these back up, and I have been slowly moving books into the library. I've been going through like the other and dimensions like that to get more books to save in here, and I did repopulate everything. And again, I had stuff from having to do the quest line over and over again, thank God. But I just haven't set the setup back up again because I'm just afraid if I do, you know, somebody will come along and take it. And I really don't need it at this point. I have in-game, well, mostly in-game armor. This is a basic mob spawner using mob grinding utilities, delightful dirt. Right now, nothing will grow in here because it's pretty well covered with grass, which is fine by me. I use it to mine pink slime and this stuff here, liquid meat, and it goes over there into the liquid tank. So you can see one of the tanks is full, so I'll have to expand that tank. And then we come over here, and we have the dreadful dirt. With the light is currently turned on. If I turn the light off, now this is not accelerated. I do not have conduits or redstone underneath here, so these are both basic, just you know, slow burning. Turn them on slowly. It generates hostile mobs, and then they get ground up, and all their goodies get sent over here to the wall of shame. And at some point, you get so much stuff you just don't need it anymore, so you just turn it off. The only reason I kept it going is for the XP, and I have got a lot of XP at this point. Then we come into here and some more apotheosis stuff here. Yep, ugh, gosh darn it. This was full up of apotheosis stuff. It's all gone. Darn it. Why they take that stuff? I don't get it. It just is what it is. I love this trophy. Anyways, this was where he was at, and I have a stasis thing down there. It lost power, and it just obliterated my setup because I didn't properly ensure that it wasn't going to get damaged if he got free. But he got free, and then he ran around outside for a while, and eventually I hunted him down, and yeah. Anywho, this is all basic support building stuff for working in here. I think this is, yeah, more building stuff, and then some of the rewards I get from there. This is my apotheosis spawner. I do have some of the spawners blocked off with mechanism cardboard boxes, so when I turn this thing on, they're not all generating entities because, oh my god, this mob farm can just absolutely fill this thing up in a matter of seconds. It'd be thousands of mobs in there. It's very, very efficient. It's maxed out, and you know, if you don't need to run it, I don't run it. Mainly, if I do run it, I do it for XP, and I don't need the XP. So, I love these blocks from Eternal Starlight. There's a dungeon in Eternal Starlight you can get these from. I absolutely love them. Eternal Starlight is a kind of a depressing area. So is the other dimension. I can't remember the name of it, but I'll get to it here in a second. But yeah, I like these blocks, and that's the only reason I like going into the Starlight dimension is to get these blocks because they are really nice looking building blocks. Then we come into the expansion room here. This is going to be part of Oriatech. Probably a little bit of create, all the create machines, and then some immersive engineering stuff will go in here. Some more immersive engineering stuff will go in here. Originally, I was going to put the mechanism, you know, those big tall copper silos in here, but it's not tall enough. I have to move those to another location. But yeah, this is I like this room. I like the way it came out. Along these walls and stuff like that, I was going to have different machines and things like that, like a doorway here if I needed to expand, and you'd go into another like hallway, and then a whole bunch more rooms and stuff like that. I still will do that eventually, probably. I don't know. Over here, it's against the. This is basically just a solid wall, so if I put anything over here, it'd be outside and then connected through the wall. This is my basic Powa setup. I have completed the Powa quest line. But I initially had this set up with an RF timer and regular redstone with repeaters delayed so that I could put stuff in here and then it could get processed without, you know, overfilling this, because this is a very limited processor. You can only have 1 or 2 items in it at a time, and yeah, otherwise it jams up. I know I can automate this with AE. I just never got around to doing it. Just saying. I mean, I'm very limited. Here is my neural network setup. These were set up to automatically craft this stuff. I did do that, and that's behind the wall here. Mainly, I just populate these with a wither item. I don't know what they call these things. Yeah, the model, the wither model, and then it creates nether stars, which fill the system up. I have my second waystone down here, and this is so I can go to the dimensions where this right here is set up. This is part of the dire things. It allows you to get time crystals. I did copy Chosen Architect's All the Mods 10 playthrough tutorial on this. It is very efficient. The one thing I can tell you is if it's whatever direction this is facing, in this case it's north-south, you want the exact same orientation in all 3 dimensions. So if we pop into the nether, notice how I'm facing this way, but I come over here, it's all still facing the same north-south sort of inclination. Actually, I'm facing south, but yeah, north-south would be like this. And then if we pop over here, we'll be into the end, and there's the setup. Growth crystals with the generators for power, and then generates this thing here. When this populates to a crystal form, it's set here with this, and it'll harvest the crystals, and they took all my crystals. Gosh darn it. Why, people? Why steal me blind? I mean, come on, don't be doing me like this. This is insane. But out here in the net, they didn't take those, because they're not done yet. There is a, over there is a ender farm that somebody built, and I had utilized that early game to get my points so that I could XP and stuff, so I can get some decent tools and armor. Very, very effective setup. And we go back to my base. And then this portal also just goes to the end version of this as well. And we have some of my drawers here with my essence. These are, I believe, automatically converted. I really don't remember. I do have it set up so that it all goes into the ME system. Oh yeah, they do automatically convert. Oh wow, that's where all the time crystals went. Well, son of a gun. Wonder how that happened. Woo, look at me, I'm super fast. Oh, I see. It comes out of that. Okay. Well, we'll just go over here. I have an empty drawer. I'll just stick them in this drawer right here. There we go. Nice thing about time crystals, they like to play with you. Wow. Interesting. How is it? Oh, I think it's getting because it's old. Okay, well, I'll deal with that later. You know, it's just one of those bugs they come across. Here's my massive individual block storage. Again, I know that this isn't all the blocks in the game, and it's not well organized, but it is, you know, for me, I can see it at a glance what I have and what I need. And I could tie this into the ME system, but I'd rather keep all this separated from the ME system. Again, I could dump all this into create storage containers and then just have a single ME interface. And I'll probably end up doing that, as I said, because I can put like 4 or 5 max size create containers and hide them behind the wall there, and then just have individual or just one interface, and then have access to all this stuff that way. This right here, they took my Zycraft. They stole my Zycraft stuff. Oh my god. Normally Zycraft would be sitting here and this thing would be generating. Okay. They even took my crystals, my extra crystals. Son of a gun. Alright, here's my wall of mystical agricultural stuff. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff to mystical agriculture. It's another fun mod. It's a deep dive mod, so when you get into it, you really get into it. More storage. Ender IO. Ah, damn it! They took all my Ender IO stuff. Ah, oh gosh, darn it. Anyways, I had a whole bunch of Enter.io stuff set here for automation, and they even took they took it all. Again, this is industrial for going. You put a log in here. Basically, I would like, this thing has logs. It would pop the log, and then these turn them into latex, and so on and so forth. RF tools, infuser machine there, and then we're done. That's pretty much the area. I can tell you that I can stop down here again, and this is just plumbing and power generation and whatnot. So yeah. At least they didn't take these. I don't think they saw these, or they would have stolen those too. But yeah, what the hell. Yay. Anyways, Twilight Forest is completed. The end is pretty much done, and this is the Undergarden. That is a very depressing place to go. If you don't have to go to the Undergarden, don't go to the Undergarden. It will depress the hell out of you. Here are my mystical agricultural setup. I did have full-on mystical agricultural, and it's all gone. They stole all my mystical and all the AE stuff that went with it. Oh my god. Oh no. I didn't notice this earlier when I started the recording. But yeah, all this is gone. All of it. All my plants, my growth accelerators, the crystal generators for them, it's all gone. I don't let's check this chest. Maybe it's in the chest. No. I don't. If an admin came along and took it out, they would have set a chest over here, and I don't think an admin took these out because I mean when I'm not on server they're not running, and when I'm on server it's very low impact. Oh my gosh. In fact, when I tested for latency, the only thing that was giving me issues were the pipes ultra filter add-ons. Yeah, don't use those. For some reason they generate a lot of latency. Stick with the diamond level ones for the pipes mod. But yeah, that sucks. That was a lot of work to get all those seeds and those plants. Somebody comes along and just clean, and all the growth accelerators, all this was populated. Well, buggers. I have to redo all that if I need. I think I have enough mystical agricultural stuff, so I don't think I'll miss this. But still, it sucks that somebody came along and took all my stuff. That just bites. But here, let's take a quick look at the map. As you can see, there are a lot of waystones where places I have visited on my other PC where the map is much more filled out. I have several computers. It's sort of a hobby thing. I have a 5800X, which was the main gaming computer I was playing on until Microsoft updated it and killed the SSD in it, and now it doesn't recognize the SSD. And same thing with my 13700K. Just built that system, and it to the SSD. Same thing as the same brand, same model as the one in the 5800X. Windows doesn't update now. The SSD isn't recognized, and I just haven't gone through to try and troubleshoot to figure out if the Windows update killed the SSDs or just did something in the BIOS. I don't know. I'll deal with that problem later. But right now, currently, I thank God I had updates paused on this 12900K, and this is the computer I've been using mainly since the other two went down. And I can tell you straight up, I am not a fan of the AI Windows generated source code stuff. I've had two major updates with Windows that have adversely affected my system. One terminated the installation of the 5800X 3D, and I had to reinstall Windows on it. Then shortly thereafter, it kills the SSD in it. And I don't know what the hell's going on with Microsoft, but I do know that they're using AI to generate a lot of their code now, and it sucks. It absolutely nobody there to double check the AI. Oh, it's good. AI wrote it. And it can brick your system. So my advice is stick Windows on update on hiatus for as long as you can, and if you are forced to do an update, verify that the update, Google it, AI check it. I don't know how you do it, but just make sure it's solid before you do it. I use Brightech09 off of YouTube, and he usually has pretty good information and promptly reports issues with updates and whatnot. So yeah, that's how I kind of keep ahead of it. I've been burned by Microsoft so many times now, and I know I'm not alone. Anyways, this has been a real quick tour of my All the Mods 10 Capycraft server playthrough, and y'all have a great day. Thanks for watching. Talk to you soon.